dangerous and much lied about Eric A. Cinotti. This is where public corruption, abuse of power, a waste and misabuse of public dollars, and ultimately using your personal position for gaining power influence over others is met with extreme hostility. Otherwise, everyone else is welcome. Welcome to the Hostile Zone.
Welcome to the Hostile Zone. You're with the infamous and dangerous Eric Andrew Cinotti, Eric A. Cinotti. Who?
Eric Cinotti, of course.
That's right. You're here on BBS Talk Radio live, 7 p.m. Eastern. Once again, yet another night here in the beautiful USA on the wonderful BBS network. I'm accompanied by on-air vocalist Miss Bianca C. S-E-A, like the ocean.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. Bianca C., that's me.
Well, tell us, how are you today?
I am doing fabulous, and I am so glad to be here, and I love the vibe that's going on today.
We have
so
some
let's
good
keep
stuff,
this
yeah.
going.
You know, I got to tell you, that is a lovely brooch. Is that what they call that a brooch?
Oh, yes, it is my brooch. Yes,
That's
I
very
love
nice.
it.
I didn't say boob, I said brooch.
Brooch.
Okay, let's just get
You
that clear.
sure you were
folks.
looking at the brooch instead of like over here?
Well, I'm not going to lie, but I don't want your husband to get mad at me, so.
This little thing?
Yeah, no, it's not a little thing, I'm sure. From at least on this angle. Hey, R-Dub's in the house. I'm looking right at him. What's up, R-Dub?
Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody?
R-Dub back in the house. And no streaking today, buddy. I'm real proud of you.
Hey, always trying to do my best. You know
Real
how it be.
proud. You're the man. You're the man. And Kenny's back there. He peeked his head in. So I see chocolate stuff. So he had bagels for the morning show. But I understand we have some good donuts back there. But like you said, anything with a hole, he's interested. So I'm all right.
Well, you know what was cute though? Some of the bagels was in the shape of a heart too. I
Yeah.
thought that was cute.
Well, I think that probably came from Dick. There he is. What's up, Dick?
What's going on, everybody?
All right,
Hi.
Dick. Dick
Hi,
in the house. Dick is good. How are you today?
Doing fantabulous.
What is the fashion sense of the day without brand logos? Because they're not paying a sponsorship. I'm not giving away anything for free.
I got some fancy designer jeans on today, nice and ripply with some diamond studs, and then just rocking a pretty nice sweatshirt.
Yeah, I'm
Super
actually.
cute.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that jean selection after the show.
Don't you judge my style.
R-Dub, would you like to introduce the newest member of the Hostile Zone?
I would love to. To all of our listeners tuning in, I would
And
like to,
listeners and viewers.
I would love to introduce the new Javo. Say hi to all the fans.
Whoa! Listen, Javo, how are you?
I'm glad to catch you here. It's in my voice. I am fantastic. I am regalvanized. I am fabulous. And I am blessed.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay, he just had to one-up me.
I knew that. We're gonna have some gay on gay fighting in here, aren't we? Who's gonna be more on fire than the other one?
Oh, you mean who's doing the bending?
Oh no, I don't know about that. I don't know about. I could say though, Dick here is outdoing you on the fashion today, just so you know. But you
Okay.
do have a very cool Super Mario Brothers hat, so I am feeling that hat. That
You
is
know
a good
what?
hat.
I think when you think about it, if you're a geek and you're wearing your geek attire, you are dressed up in a sense.
You are. You are being
Absolutely.
yourself.
Yes.
Right, and there's nothing better, folks, than being yourself. Right, at the end of every show, I say, "Love yourself." So you're proving it here. So, Mr. Javo, please tell the viewers and listeners a little bit about yourself, so they get to understand who you are, and then you're going to feel the show and just going to be in the show. Let us help us out.
Yeah.
I'm a California kid at heart.
Cali.
Culture
Nice.
shocked by North Carolina. A lover of everything pop culture, fashion, geek, music, celebrities.
And you
And
like
I love
Dick here
people
too.
and energy.
And you like Dick. Or is he not?
Occasionally, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel
Now,
like,
you
we
have-
have so much in common.
You have not had the distinct pleasure to meet Jersey Thumbs yet, has he? Has he met Jersey Thumbs?
Jersey Thumbs.
He has not met Jersey.
Yeah, well, Jersey Thumbs is the onset, not visual, but he's the enforcer. He kind of keeps everything in line because we had a problem with R-Dub at some points who was streaking and he didn't realize that we had some video. So, and actually, it was kind of questionable. You can ask Dick on the side, or maybe we should say R-Dub has Dick on the side because Dick was there when he was streaking and it was pretty questionable for everybody. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Is it on video?
Yes, and I will be happy to provide it to you. It may end up
gotta
on,
see
on,
this
on,
video.
on one of those
No.
restricted
No.
sites. I don't know.
Absolutely not.
Are you shy?
Woo! All right. So, again, I want to express my thanks to everybody out there, and I really mean this. I say this every show.
Yes.
It is my distinct honor and pleasure to be here every week on BBS. We are in so many countries. I get all your emails. I see where people are reaching out to me. England, Australia, UAE. Shout out to Egypt. I mean, oh Lord. I mean, it's amazing. All the people
Wow,
that
that's so
are
wicked.
yeah, that they're everywhere. But I do humbly thank everybody. I really do, because this has been not even a year long, and we are way up there in the numbers. And it's because of you. They say that it's the talent. It's not the talent. I'm only as good as my team, and I'm only as good as the people that are listening and watching us. Right?
That's very true. We
So
appreciate each and
we
every
do.
one of
You know, you don't have to tune in. There's so many things you could be watching and listening to. You don't need to listen to me. So I appreciate that you allow me into your
don't
car.
be telling the
you know?
viewers to not listen to us. Then
I
we don't
think
have-
they
we don't have
could
a
be
thing.
going somewhere else, but they're not, because they know the best. There's the rest, and then there's the best. So
Well, yes.
anyway, if you need to reach
Have
out
to.
to the show, it's The Hostile Zone at bbstalkradio.com.
Mm-hmm.
The Hostile Zone at bbstalkradio.com. Eric at ericandrewcinotti.com. Eric.Cinotti at journalist.com. Bianca C, like the ocean, at
Songwriter.net.
and Miss Bianca is going to tell you how you can text us live in the show. Give them the number.
All right, 917-877-0171.
Whoa, you did a little different on
I
that.
always do a little
Look at
different.
that. I
I
don't
keep
know.
it live.
Yeah, all right. The team likes it. We're good. All right.
I know. Again,
So
for
if-
simple terms, 917-877-0171. Just in case if
Just
anybody
in
didn't-
case you're not into melody. If you're a viewer, follow my finger. Right down here is a scrolling ticker on the bottom. There is all the credits for how to reach us, the station. And then underneath here, the Hostile Zone. And below that finger is text Cinotti, and there's the number. So
I
feel
never
free.
know which side it is, either on this
Right.
side or this side.
Well,
So like, I'm just gonna go
Yeah,
like
it's
this.
it shows backwards, but we mirror it somehow.
Yeah.
So all right. So generally,
I gotta
we have a
say
couple
that you're
versions.
looking really good. I'm loving the tie though.
this is
Yeah.
my official George Washington Mount Vernon tie.
Not only does it look good, it's historical too.
It is
Nice.
historical, and just like your subscription to the Hostile Zone, this was a donation. So you led me right into a good segue, Miss Bianca.
Okay.
For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you can have concierge VIP membership to the show. Now, let me tell you what that does for less than a coffee.
Mm.
We do lots of great things here on the show. We help people. We do donations for, we did battered women, money for that with battered women.
yes.
We did human trafficking with the movie
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. We're always doing stuff. We get people that email in and have questions, and they need somebody who knows a guy, right, or something to reach out to
Well,
somebody.
you always got a guy.
I got a guy. If you need something, we help you get it done. And to be honest, it sounds funny, but we will reach out and do something for you if we can. So for less than a cup of coffee, you're putting money available for us to help out needy. We help out military families, veterans, homeless people, minorities. I mean, the whole. Am I right, Art? Up the whole gamut of people. I mean, is there any group of people that we're not? That we're hitting? We're pretty much covering everything.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to say, we are on Art Up. Where are we available right now?
Pretty much everywhere you decide to look. We're on Apple Music, Amazon,
Audible too.
Audible. Like basically anywhere
Yeah.
that you decide to look.
If
for the
you
show,
cannot
will find us.
find the hostile zone, you do not deserve to have fingers to be typing on a computer or phone. You need to have a conversation with Jersey Thumbs, because a simple Google
I still
of
have
the
mine.
hostile zone,
Good.
the first page and second page is all our show, so you can watch or find it very easily. Also, Patreon, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, or X, whatever. It's everywhere to be found. Eric A. Cinotti, the Hostile Zone. Up and running is the Instagram, the new one. And we also have the Hostile Zone page and then LinkedIn. And if you are looking to reach us directly, like I said, I gave you the 2 emails. And the only other place you will actually get me to respond to you directly, other than the emails, if you go on LinkedIn and you're able to get through, that will be a response from me. All right, so we got all of the the household stuff out of the way, the chores. So how do you feel there, Mr. J? Dr. J, huh?
By default, I'm feeling better than I was earlier with that Italian coffee.
Oh, right. Well, let me explain that. But what does he need to have, RW? He had my fine imported Italian espresso with the cafe. We made the Cafe Cinotti Europa, and it was nicely grounded imported beans from Sicily. And he was jittery in the morning. He was like shaking all over the place. But how long did it take you to get over it?
Until 2 hours ago, and this was at 8 a.m.
I know, yeah, right. It was. Hey, listen, you asked for coffee. You're talking to me, bro. I mean, come on.
I mean, pour that in the generator. You could power a small country.
I got one right here. That's good. Thank you. I like that. But what does he need to try, R-Dub? What is your newest favorite food?
Gabagool.
Gabagool. And what kind of cheese?
That's right.
Come on, smoked.
Smoked Gouda.
There it is, baby. Smoked Gouda and Gabagool.
I thought he was gonna say mutts.
He hasn't had fresh
I was
mutts yet.
actually gonna say provolone for a second. Can't
Whoa.
deny.
Oh, nobody
That's
talking
so
about Tony Pro.
bland.
Oh, he don't even get that. You got to watch that. Do you paint houses, R-Dub?
No, I did not.
Nobody didn't get the joke, but I'm gonna make you get the joke later. All right. Anyway, all right. So here we are. We have to talk on a very reverent topic.
Okay,
Before
serious.
we have fun. As you know, we always have fun here on the Hostile Zone. But I report hard news and I report true commentary. I pull back the curtain. I hold no punches. And I say, in your face, if you're wrong, and I'm going to say it. And I am going to talk about the big elephant in the room, and it's not Dr. J over here or somebody else, or J Love, J Lo, J whatever. What is
Don't
it?
say that.
What is it?
J-Bo.
I'm kidding with you, J Vo.
It's Vogue.
I know, I get it, Vogue.
gotta
Like J
say-
Vogue, J Vogue. Oh, wow, did that make Dick angry?
J-Bo.
Did that make Dick angry, J Vogue?
Oh.
I think I just gave you a new name. I like that even really better.
I like
And
that.
since we had you do some fashion stuff.
Yes.
Explain, give like 5 seconds of your history, because you are a model. You are actually a model. So talk about it. And you're a designer. We're talking about some clothes designing.
Yes, I've always
Project
been
Lab.
interested within the fashion world as far as the making of everything.
Right.
The process really fascinates me. The tedious labor, the pain, and how it comes out and you're able to see it and show it to the world. I just think there's a beauty in that.
It's
And
like writing. It's like
Yes.
for me. It's like creativity. My writing. I write my
Mhm.
books that are coming out. I write the legal stuff.
Yeah.
I totally feel what you mean.
And there's nothing like seeing that final product.
Yes, when it comes to fruition, and you look at it and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
I've done that.
Yes.
I've created this. And but here's the thing, and this is a good conversation. You're not being cocky about it. You're proud of it. But some people mistake cockiness with being proud, and a lot of people mistake intelligence for arrogance. And I think that's an interesting topic we could have. Write that,
That
down.
is, yeah,
That could be
yeah.
something to discuss. But anyway, so folks, back with the topic. Everybody knows that there was sadly a shooting at Joel Osteen's church. And, you know, the updated information on it was a female, formerly a male. I don't want to get into details, and that's really not where I'm going with that. So that is really irrelevant fact, but all the other news outlets did put that out. So that's the only reason I'm saying that it was a female who was formerly a male. Otherwise, it makes no sense to me. I don't really care what you are or what you do. But this person, and we never say names on the show, J-Vogue, we don't do it. We don't
never
do it.
do the fame.
Because I don't
no.
give them credit when they do disgusting, dirty, pitiful, nasty crap in our country. I don't, in any country. I don't like it. It makes me angry. So we don't mention their names.
Don't
Anyway.
get hostile now.
And, you know, and again, for the price of a cup of coffee, you might be helping somebody, because what I'm about to say will help solidify that for you. If you are been affected with this shooting, and we are very happy to do what we can do for you. So feel free to reach out with one of the ways on the bottom of the ticker. Reach out to the show. If there's anything that we can connect you and link you with, services, or whatever it is we can do, we do that. And we stand strong about helping people and stand strong about standing up. And if you know me, you know that I follow my word. And if I'm going to do it, I do it. And you can ask anybody that knows. So it really is really worth the membership to do that. The Hostile Zone store, I keep talking about it, but it's been such a process to get it built, but we are there. So we're now putting together additional items, and I like that you're on staff here because we have the Hostile Zone store. So maybe we can put a couple fashion pieces in there too. I've contracted with the company that's going to make our merch. What do they call it? Merch.
Merch.
Right? Because I can't say merchandise. God forbid. I gotta pretend that I don't have like 5 degrees. I have like what two associate degrees, a master's degree, 2 bachelors, a law degree, and finishing another doctorate. But I gotta pretend I don't have that, and I gotta speak broken English. So it's not merchandise. We're gonna have merch. Okay. So anyway, feel free to let me know if I'm using real words and it's not appropriate. All right. Anyway, so, but in all fairness and all honesty, we do want to help you. Our hearts go out to you. It's a terrible thing, and I want to applaud and thank those off-duty officers who were in the church, and they neutralized this individual.
Yeah.
And thank God. It could have been so much worse. I have a lot of experience, and I have personal history on something very specific to this. I worked on a case. I'm not going to say the name, but it was a big church shooting, and it was a tough case that I worked on, and a lot of people got hurt and killed. It was a big bloodbath, and that was quite a crime scene that we were at.
Really?
Yes, it was a serious case. Okay. And he's away. He didn't die, but he's in prison. He's not going to get out any day soon. But it was something that I will not forget. I believe we've talked about this case before. But anyway, I have experience with that, and I feel that, and I can't imagine, because I go to church. I don't want to call anybody else out. And listen, this is what's real about Cinotti. I go to church. I'm Catholic, and I'm going to tell you that. But I don't push Catholicism or Christianity or anything on anybody.
Right.
That is me. I tell you who I am. I keep it real, but I don't force my belief on anybody. But the reason I say that is because being in church, I can't possibly fathom the thought as I'm there. And I actually get yelled at by my priest a lot because I'm texting, but I'm not texting.
It's true.
But I'm not being rude. I get into the church, right? And I'm talking to everybody and, the whole team here. I get into the church and, I listen to the priest, and my mind starts to wander, but not in a bad way. My mind starts to think about all the things I can do to help people and things that I can do to better my life, better the life of somebody else. So in the beginning, he thought that I was being rude and just not paying attention. And then I had to show him, like, look at all the notes I took of all of the things that you inspired me to think about. So
right. So you're inspired.
yeah, I get inspired. I hear the word. I
So
went
the
to Catholic
topic
school
of
for
the-
12 years.
okay.
I have it all memorized. There's nothing he's going to tell me on the pulpit that day that I haven't heard 5,000 times being in Catholic school. But you know what? It is the inspiration
Yes,
and just being
yes.
in the room. And that is what is damaging. And I feel it to the pit of my core. And if you read my news articles and you see my exposés, I just did one on the failing DSS, Department of Social Services in North Carolina, who can't seem to manage a child abuse case. If one fell in their office right in front of them and they saw the kid dying, they wouldn't know what to do. But that's a whole other story. I have a thing protecting women and children, and I can't imagine being in a safe place, right? You're supposed to be safe, and you're there
I don't feel
for
that anymore.
spiritual nurturing, right? Spirit nurturing or nourishment. Let's say nourishment, and that's always how I see it. So I feel that I wanted to talk about that. The updated information is that the one of the children 7 years old.
They say it's either 5 or 7.
Yeah, no
that
one's
the
putting
child
out really
was.
great information. I get the Newswire, and I can put out the Newswire, but
And it was
I'm
a
not
boy.
because I wait. It was a young boy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now the most interesting point to this, interesting isn't the right word. The most baffling point to this
Okay.
is why the shooter brought a child with her. Like, right, they brought a.
I think that's super
he-
selfish.
I'm just gonna say the shooter
To
because I
put
don't
that-
even know if I could call
That
them a
child in
she or he.
danger.
Bring a child
Like,
there to do this.
really?
So not only did they damage mentally, besides the physically people that got shot and hurt, but they mentally damaged people forever, regardless of your age. But now children that are not going to forget that. And now they'll be afraid. And they may not go back to church again. And again, this is not God preaching moment. Church is a place of congregation, a place of community, a place of human love and compassion. And if you're like me, it's a place of networking, politicking, getting to know your neighbors, your friends, people who have something in common with you that you can pull each other together. And that is just a travesty that this happened.
Raising hope and faith also.
Yeah,
being
I
there
mean,
and
it's
inspiring.
terrible. I mean, you know, I don't know.
Now I
I
have
don't
to,
want to call
like,
anybody out
fear-
on going to church, but you know,
I thought, like, going to the movies would be like a risk. Now I have to have fear. One day those beautiful doors are gonna open and there's gonna be a crazy person coming in now. Like,
what are they? I mean,
in the middle of my prayer, praying for somebody or at my lowest time, and then I have to fear that now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just it just baffles me why somebody would do that. I'm interested to see what the story is now. Here's an interesting twist, and I'm waiting to see what comes out of that. So the shooter is of Latin descent, of Spanish descent.
When I found that out,
of
I
Spanish
was
descent,
super angry.
right? Of course, you're a
I
Latino,
was
right?
super angry because I'm like, oh my God, because people like that is what makes us Latinas and us Hispanic people have a bad name, because of stupid people like that.
Right, and that's what creates characterizations, and that's what creates people that have racist views, and they classify people into certain areas, and it's just terrible. And the other thing that I'm wondering if this is ever going to find its way to the public eye, and if it doesn't, and it's there, I'll pull the curtain back and I'll be the one to give it out. What is the legal status of the shooter? I want to know.
They
because
haven't
they
had any
haven't put
details.
much information out about the shooter, but I'm just wondering. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm saying it because I call a spade on my show, and it's my show. In your face, I could say it. I want to. There it is. What is the legal status of this person? All right, and how did they get a weapon? And thirdly, the shooter had a history of multiple arrests dating back 20 years and still walking on the street, weapons charges, and etc. for 20 years on the street in America, walking into a church with a child with an unregistered gun, discharging it at people. I mean, what is our criminal justice system doing? But yet they prosecute people for no reason, or they lie and make up charges because it's good, or they want to tarnish somebody's name, or they want to have they want to take out a political opponent. We can see that's going on right now in the presidential elections. So you're telling me going after a former president with 40 felony charges, and I wanted to talk about this, I'm kind of spinning it in, and then one former president gets 40 or so felony charges for alleged classified information in his home, and the current seated president has the same similar classified information documents in his garage. Which I believe, putting my lawyer cap on, I see there's a difference in the home locked up with security. And whether or not he had the classified information, I'm put that aside for a second if it's illegal. It was, and Mr. Trump, Donald Trump, President Trump had it in his home, locked up in his home. President Biden's classified information was in his outdoor garage. Now, I'm not prosecuting the case, and I don't do that here. I'm just bringing the points to light. Now, none to say, we're going to get deeper into that in a minute, but why does the government put so much effort sending out search warrants and showing up in the middle of the night? They go after all kinds of people for white-collar, stupid crimes, which, speaking of that, RW, we have a gentleman coming on soon, right? You're going to be talking about him, Field, right?
Yep.
Okay. And we have some special guests coming on that are going to be talking soon. That are not even allowed back in the United States. So you can ponder who I'm talking about, where they did some great document dumps about the government. They are going to be guests on the show. But anyway, how does the government invest your tax dollars, my tax dollars, on stupid things that really aren't even a crime? It doesn't matter what political party you are. President Biden, President Trump, they had these documents. They have their name on it. It's presidential executive privilege. Yes, it's the people's documents. I totally understand that. We the people, in this book right here, we the people, in my Constitution, and on the wall, we the people, it's our documents, 100%. But they also have presidential libraries, and everybody gets a presidential library, and they have copies of their papers. So who knows what either one of them was planning to do with these boxes, but why did we have to invest all of our government resources to investigate a case like that is not hurting anybody, but yet this shooter, who has a 20-year history of criminal offenses of high level, and that person's able to walk into a church and do that. But we're going to invest our dollars to go after a former president or a current president or even Hunter Biden. I don't really care. If he sold secrets, then do what you got to do. But how much time are we going to put in and effort are we going to go in? It's becoming a game. The government is weaponizing itself to take out its political enemies. Wake up, folks. Look around. I talk about the 360, 365. 360, 180 forward, 180 behind you. Your head's on a swivel, and it's 365 every day of the year. Pay attention. Open your eyes. Read a book. Look around. Google doesn't tell the truth. I hate to break the news to you. You need to look and really look. And listen, I'm part of the media. I'm a member of the union, so I'm part of that stuff. But I call a spade a spade. There's some news outlets that don't always tell the accurate story. Cinotti is on your side. I tell it like it is. I pull the curtain back. I don't care who you are, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. In your face. You wear a robe now. You stand there, and you want to prosecute people. Well, Cinotti heard you. You'll hear what happens when investigations go forward. Already people have left office, and there'll be more to go. Don't steal the American dollar. Don't use your position of power to pull power over other people. It is a disgrace. And when you do that, then you are opening the door for people to do exactly what just happened in this church. Because if you invested your time and our tax money into actual things of value, things that are to the core of our American freedoms. And the ability to go to church and the ability to feel safe in church is right in the document in my hand in the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech. Let's start paying attention to the founders of our country, the founders of our nation, on what they wrote, because that is what is important. If we had been doing this, maybe we would be a little bit more secure at the border. Maybe we would be paying attention to the dismay and disgust of drugs on the street and homelessness, children addicted to narcotics. And don't get me started on the disproportionate minorities in the criminal justice system. We know what you do. I've seen it. You know who you are. People using bail as a form of punishment. Bail is in this document here too. The 8th Amendment of the United States Constitution says that you have a right to bail, and you also have a right to be protected from excessive bail. It also mentions that you have a right to be protected from cruel and unusual punishment. Bail is a form of ensuring that the defendant, the accused, I know that the media makes everybody a guilty party immediately. Not on this show. Not on this show, right?
Yeah, it's
But
unfair.
They
Don't
try
ever
cases in the media. They do. Pay attention, because you'll see certain people will automatically make it look like it is 100% a done deal before it even sees its day in court. They forget all about this document, yet they raised their right hand with a hand on a Bible, and they raised their right hand to uphold this document, yet they failed to do so. So, all right, I go off on a tangent. It makes me so angry. That's why the hostile zone was created, for disgusting people that are bloating and sucking the government dry of money and of resources, and they make people hate the system. I have spent my life in government work and in public service, regardless of what some bots might want to say and some other losers that got nothing going for them, former dog catchers that got lucky and ended up in office because somebody died, right? Let's be real. You know who you are. You're a nobody. You're a nothing. Your days are done. You're out of office. And I hope you took my advice about 4 shows ago and you transferred the house into your wife's name, because you know the lawsuit's on the way and somebody else is going to be moving into that house. And it's not going to be you or anybody related to you. Anyway, I'm getting angry. Did you guys here on the staff? You need to keep me from getting angry.
There should be an open house, right?
Right. I can't wait to I can't wait to the open house of some of these people when they have to sell the house, because I'm going to come. Maybe I'll buy the house. Because I did pay cash for mine, even though they want to look at my documents. Yeah. I paid cash, so no bank here. But anyway.
Wait, what was that quote? Give a man power.
Oh, that's Lincoln. That's Lincoln. Thank you. In this book, thank you, Miss Bianca. Yes. In this other lovely book. That's one of my
favorite quotes, actually.
In this, this lovely book here, which was a gift, is my Abraham Lincoln quote book. And Miss Bianca said something wonderful. And it's one of my, if anybody knows, I got Abraham Lincoln. Oh, new edition. I don't know. Was this here last week?
It was.
Well, anyway, if you're watching, on the wall right here is an actual handwritten letter signed by President Abraham Lincoln. And you know it's been authenticated, and it said Executive Mansion on the top because it was not the White House at the time. But anyway, the quote you're bringing up is one of the ones I love. It's a Lincoln quote. If you want to test a man, give him power. If you want to test a man's character, give him power. If you want to test somebody, see and find out who they are, face them with adversity and see how they rise under adversity. And see how others fall under adversity. See how Frank Sinatra said it best. How does it go, R-Dub? Since you're one of your favorites too. What's his line? When you get knocked down?
You get right back up.
With syndication. He fell down in May and he was back with syndication, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. Enough said. I got all amped up over this church thing because I just hate to see, and I just believe that if this person had a 20-year history of crimes like that, they're going after white-collar crimes. they go after people with white collar crimes because they're afraid of those people. Let's be real.
That's
There's
true.
no
That's true.
value. There's no value to anybody. And you guys
They're
understand.
afraid that they'll lose their job. That's why they try
J-Vo,
to
feel
do
free.
that.
You can talk too if you have something to say.
Yeah.
There is no value, and
Yeah.
you know, RW, you guys, there's no value in prosecuting even President Biden or President Trump. There's no value in that.
Right.
What value do we get over classified documents? What's the value? How about we invested the value into protecting our borders, stopping opiates from ending up on the street? How about we do some real old school community policing and the cops rolled the window down? You know, the worst thing in policing, you know what the worst invention was in policing?
What
The
was
worst
that?
invention in policing in America was air conditioning. I teach this.
Really? Why?
Because when
Simple like that, huh?
and our criminal justice system in America was based on the English system, roughly, but then we added to it, obviously, the Constitution, etc. But they called them bobbies in England, right? And
Bobbies?
and they don't carry guns. They're bobby, and they wear that top hat, you know, and they carry everything else. The inspectors carry guns, but the bobbies patrol the streets and they walk the streets. And in America, people would walk up and down, and there was a call box on every corner, and the cop would walk. And they, you know what they call? You know what a cop stands for?
No.
Constable on patrol. You always learn something on the hostile zone. A cop means constable
never looked
on
it up.
patrol. A constable comes from the English derivative of law enforcement, constable on patrol, and actually, sheriff comes from shire reeve. All right, I don't want to get too much. You got to pull me back when I get too intellectual.
No, I love it. I feel
Anyway,
like
so
I'm
my
getting
point is
a lesson here.
the invention of they used to walk the streets and they would check the doors of the stores to make sure they were locked, and they went in and they communicated with the businesses and the people, and there was a call box on the corner. And that's how they called in. It was like a telephone call box. You can see them in New York City still once in a while. They have them.
Okay.
And they would pick it up. Okay. They would pick it up and they would say, oh, okay, here we is. This what's going on. But then they got police cars
Okay.
and air conditioning and they rolled the windows up. So they lost that communication with the community. They're no longer walking the street, walking the beat. They are now in a car. They have a radio on their body. And they have a regular radio in the car, maybe even listening to me right now, and they're in the car. So they're not having that community connection. That was one of the biggest downfalls of law enforcement. And in the 90s, they started doing this broken windows theory. And broken windows theory was the idea, and actually Mayor Giuliani of New York was not the creator of this, but he really pushed it with cleaning up Times Square. Broken windows theory, folks, is if you clean up the small stuff in the community, the litter, trash, homelessness, and little things on your community, people have a love and respect for their community, and you have less crime being committed in that community because people have value. They're invested to their community.
They take pride of their property.
They take pride.
Mhm.
They take
Yeah.
pride in their front of their home. So if you fix the broken windows, and that was what it's called, literally, it's really called broken windows theory. If you clean up like in New York City, Mayor Giuliani got rid of all the porno shops. And
Right,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying, but they were all congregated in a tourist area. They moved them away. Disney built a store there, and they started getting rid of people on the corners and cleaning it up. And now the crime rate drastically fell based on that theory. That I can totally spin that right into where we are, why incidents like this occur. We are coming on a time crunch here.
Yes.
How much time we got left? Because I'm only seeing 39 on there.
Due to the complications that we had at the
All
beginning
right.
of the show, it's almost about time to start the anthem.
We have time for
Yeah.
one song and then the anthem.
I'd say just finishing up and then the anthem.
Okay, so folks, we had some difficulties on tech-wise with our new staff, so it slowed us up. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. I like that. That works out nice. So Miss Bianca is going to close us out, but Also tonight, if you go to KKTC 99.9 on your FM dial, at True Country, True America, you can watch our other version of the show, and we talk additionally about this, but not as hostile as we were just now. We're going to follow this up again.
Today. I love it.
Pay attention to some more of my news articles that are coming out. I'm not finished on my expose of the criminal justice system. We are engaged in bail reform, and I'm on a committee. I'm going to D.C. in a couple weeks to sit on a committee for bail reform and criminal justice reform. I'm going to bring all that information back to you. Thank you for your time. I wish we could have gotten more done today, but we just went off on a tangent, and I can't help because that's what Cinotti does. But you want me to do that because I pull back the curtain and I say it like it is. So let's all do it. Let's pull the curtain back, guys. Pull the curtain.
In front of your
pull
face.
It back. Boom, you pulled it back. So with that said, don't go anywhere. You're going to be right back at BBS Talk Radio next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You're going to catch us on every podcast platform. You can look for us on any social media. And we also put all the videos up on BBS website and on YouTube. And we will be having it again on KKTC in a couple hours. 99.9 KKTC. Google it. You can listen to that show. Miss Bianca, because America is crying right now, all right?
Yes.
America's crying over a church shooting and all of the stuff. Give them your best version of the national anthem.
Absolutely. All right. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets right glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
It's not going anywhere.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Lovely, lovely, lovely. On my closing note, as always, love yourself, America. Look in the mirror in the morning and say, today is going to be a day I do something good for me and for somebody else. Always remember, whoever you talk to has things going on in their life, and you don't know what they're experiencing. They could be somebody from this church. You don't know. Talk to people with respect. Love people, love yourself, and love our country. Don't go anywhere. Come back to the hostile zone next week, 7 p.m. Eastern. Check me out on KKTC tonight, 9 p.m. Mountain Time. Miss Bianca, how do we end the show?
Use your voice, Cinotti hears you. Use your voice, let it be heard. Use your voice, Cinotti hears you. Use your voice. Use your voice, Cinotti heard you. Use your voice, let it be heard. Use your voice, Cinotti heard you. Use your voice.
That's right. Cinotti heard you. He hears you every day, and he'll hear you again next week, tonight, and tomorrow.